transfer from the broker to your bank is supposed to take 4 business days,
Okay.
because settlement takes 3 days. So the
Mhm.
bank would send you the money on the fourth day.
Mhm.
So an example is if you do a sale transaction on Monday,
Mhm.
expect to receive your money on Thursday or latest Friday,
Okay.
depending on the bank or also depending on the transaction at which
Mhm.
they do. Yes. So I think withdrawing your money is very simple. No
Mhm.
bank will tell you here that they don't have money to pay you.
Yeah.
Once you sell a stock, they will always be willing to pay you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm getting started, how much would you say I need, especially if I'm looking to make good returns?
I think a question about how much you need to invest has always been a challenge.
Mhm.
So just as I mentioned when you were beginning,
Yeah.
the amount you need is relative to the stock you select,
Okay.
and the stock you select will also be affected by
Mhm.
the return you get will be affected by the stock you're selecting.
Yeah.
Some of the fundamentally stable companies in the stock market
Mhm.
include companies that we relate with on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
Safaricom, KCB, Equity Bank, East African Breweries Limited.
Mhm.
So all of them have a certain level of return, and the share price for all of them are different.
Okay.
An example is EABL
Mhm.
is trading at about 160 Kenya shilling.
Yeah.
Safaricom is trading at around 30, and Equity is trading at about 35,
Yeah.
KCB at around 38.
Mhm.
So you investing in these companies, the minimum amount you need to do is 100 shares for
Mhm.
all of these companies.
Okay.
So that means if you're going to input 100
Mhm.
KCB shares, then you probably need around 3,800.
Mhm.
While if you're going to buy EABL shares, the
Yeah.
minimum you need to invest is about 100 times 162, which is about 16,200.
Okay. And what are the technical things I should look out for when getting into stock markets?
Before looking on the technicalities when you're starting onto the stock market, I
Mhm.
think you need to understand what type of investor you are.
Yeah.
Are you investing in on the fundamental aspect or the technical aspect?
Yeah.
If you're investing on the fundamental aspect, you just need to look on the financial performance of the company,
Mhm.
and now that includes you starting on, say, if you're picking on maybe the company's balance sheet, how they've been performing, the dividend payment,
Yeah.
the management of the company. So you do an entire rap
Mhm.
sheet of that company's fundamental aspect.
Okay.
And then if you're looking on the technical bits, then
Mhm.
you need to now probably pick on you looking on the trend lines.
Okay.
You see, trading on technicals means you're just taking advantage of a brief mispricing
Mhm.
so that you can make great margins out of it.
Okay.
The technical aspect, I would always advise you not to do it unless you're a market professional.
Mhm.
I would not advise you to do technical analysis because you're likely to lose. Technical analysis basically involves you looking on trend lines,
Yeah.
looking on what we call the RSI,
Mhm.
the MACD for companies. So
Yeah.
it's slightly challenging. If you're not a market professional and you don't understand
Yeah.
the market technicalities, I would
Mhm.
advise you to keep off the technical aspect of
Of
trading.
it. Interesting. And so between me and my broker, who should determine when or how should buy my shares?
So previously we had
Mhm.
brokers previously had opportunities where they would trade for you as an individual.
Yeah.
You give them money and they trade for you.
Mhm.
But then this brought in a lot of issues with clients
Yeah.
because as human beings, when we're making money, all of us are very open with it.
Yeah.
But when we're losing money, then you start
Mhm.
blaming the broker.
Yeah.
And so nowadays we have what are called discretionary managed accounts.
Mhm.
That means the account is managed at your own discretion.
Okay.
If you want to buy, if you don't want to buy, if you want to hold,
Mhm.
the broker will execute as you told them.
Okay.
Brokers also have what we call nominee accounts.
Yeah.
Now, with the nominee accounts, you give the broker
Mhm.
authorization
Yeah.
to trade on that account, but the
Mhm.
account is under the broker's name.
Okay.
Most brokers won't allow you to set up a nominee account with them
Mhm.
because they have quite some higher opening requirements for you to set up.
Mhm.
Some brokers might require you to have at least 5 million
Yeah.
or even higher for you to just set up your nominee account with them. So some of them are slightly challenging. But for now, if you're investing as a retail individual, there's a high possibility that you'll be able to trade on your own. However, brokers send out reports. Brokers and investment bank, they send you, they give you reports probably on a week-to-week basis. And if they're giving you this on a week-to-week basis, then you can go through them and see what is their buy recommendation, or what is their sell recommendation, or what are they holding. And they also give you a brief of business news as well. So it's important that if you're investing, you need to check on the report that these brokers are going to send out to you.
Okay, interesting. And so does the share price contribute to the dividend earned by the stakeholder?
I think at times we have, now you see, if sometimes we have prices that are hit by the dividend, and we also have some that are not supportive.
Yeah.
An example is if a rally picks up and we see companies like Kenya Airways gain as high as 80% in a span of maybe 3 weeks. The share price has come from a price of about 2 shillings and all the way to 4 shillings. That is KQ before it was suspended from trading. And then all of a sudden you're seeing the price going to that for a company that has not paid dividend for about 4 years. And then at the same time you have companies like EABL that will pay you good dividend and the share price is also high. So to some extent it might be unrelated, but there's usually a fundamental aspect of a price which is supported on the dividend as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And lastly, what are the prerequisites to get an account?
Before you get into to open an account, the broker will always require you to definitely your national ID for your identification, and then the KRA PIN. Seems like taxes are not leaving us anywhere anytime soon. And then we also have utility bills or a bank statement that they can require you to have. I'm seeing brokers nowadays allow you to set up accounts online, which is very convenient, so you don't have to submit the paperwork. For the youth and for the younger generation, this becomes in handy for them, because if you can set up your account online, because I'm seeing brokers like Faida Investment Bank, Ganges Capital, and AIB Access actually give you an opportunity to open an account remotely. So you just download their apps, you fill in the details and you submit, and the account is set up.
Okay, that was a very nice topic. So do you feel there's anything that you'd like to mention as we wind up?
I think there's a lot of negative energy surrounding the stock market, and maybe I would challenge you as an individual, as an investor, to try it out. And always check on what's happening out here. Always try and find out what is happening in the real market before we listen to the negative energy that is said out here. Markets are performing and guys are making money, so why not you? So that's a challenge I'm giving out to you today.
Okay. So that is all on stock market. If you have any more questions or feedback, comments, experiences, let me know in the comments section down below. I love to really hear from you. You can also follow my pages. I'll drop down the link below, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a nice, lovely day, weekend, whichever time you'll be watching this.